Every guitar, I mean, Gibsons and Fenders and all the different brands and the different models, I mean, they all have something else to say, you know, and I think that's why I end up with so many guitars too, because they've all got something different to say. I was fortunate to, you know, over the last few years to really acquire some great vintage guitars, and they all bring something different out. I mean, you know, sometimes it's the yin and the yang too. I know sometimes just having a sort of a more Les Paul type of thing. I had a 58 gold top that drowned and didn't survive, which was devastating, which I bought from here as well. And a 52 gold top that didn't survive that I also bought from here. Both of those, particularly the 58, I mean, PAF's in it and it's a much more rock guitar, but it responds really well to sort of more bluesy country licks as well too, because it's a very creamy guitar. So, I don't know, sometimes playing a guitar in a style that the guitar wouldn't normally warrant is also appealing to me. The main one probably that comes to mind is a 40th anniversary Telecaster that I bought in New York in 1989. It was my first trip to the States, and I walked into a music store and saw it, and was just captivated by it. It was actually in a glass case, you know. It was like, oh, holy grail kind of thing. And I asked the guy if I could play it, and he sort of gave me the one look over, and he's like, well, you got to take off your belt buckle and take off your bracelet and take off this, and like anything that might scratch it, you know. And I played it and loved it, and was able to buy it. I borrowed all the money to buy it off several friends, but got it and took it back to Australia. And I did my first solo album in 1990, and I played it on the album and I loved it so much, but I was terrified of getting a scratch on it, you know. And so I put it under the bed and wouldn't tour with it. And I'd come home from tour and pull it out and play it for hours and hours and hours and go, oh, I wish my guitar on the road felt like this. Oh, well, back under the bed, you know, and out playing some rinky-dink thing on the road. And then it occurred to me, probably should play it, you know, and dragged it out. And at some point it fell off a stand and got its first scratch, and then it was all over from there. I just didn't, you know, I wasn't so precious about it. And I've played it on every one of my albums, and it's actually on several album covers I've done. And it drowned in the river, and I was really devastated by that. But it got resurrected, and it's actually come back better than it was before, so that's a good story. And I had a 335, a 1961 335 that drowned and unfortunately didn't get resurrected, which is a real drag, similar to this beautiful guitar. The Gibsons just have another thing, you know. I've got a 57 Les Paul Jr., which has got resurrected, and it sounds as good as it did. I have a 63 Melody Maker that got resurrected and doesn't sound as good as it did. So they're all, you know, they've all come out of it in different ways. But they, I don't know, the Gibsons just have they're a bit more of a blend of, there's an acoustic aspect to them, I think, with Gibsons, with the electrics, where there's a sort of an organic, acoustic-y vibe about them that I really love, particularly the 335 and the Les Paul Jr. too, that just have a different thing, so they, you know, play them differently.